Hello and welcome to, this is probably part 2 of my Warhammer 40,000 Imperial Knight Titan building guide. The first kind of video I showed the box, showed the model, showed you what you can achieve. Now this is, I'd say it's kind of part 2 really. I'm going to take the sprues out of the box and I'm just going to sit and go through all of the construction processes that I do in my own little way. If you've got one of these, enough said really, you just take it out of the box and I'll do that. However, what I will say is if you've got any kind of Forge World extra pieces, now is a good time to get a bowl or something like that, fill it with some warm water, not boiling water or really hot water or anything like that, and put some fairy liquid in or some washing stuff, and put your epoxy resin pieces in there. What I like to do is I tend to just cut them off the big chunks if I can, and then leave them in there while I concentrate on the plastic side of it. So I'm just gonna go and get a bowl of water and show you that. So here we are with the little items, little pieces in here. It's kind of warmish water. Just put a bit of fairy liquid in. If you must know, it's lemon. I find that works the best for keeping the corruption away from the chaos, and inhibits heresy, I hear. And your best bet is just to give them a bit of a scrub with an old toothbrush, preferably not the one that you use for your own teeth, an old one. And yeah, I wouldn't go crazy. I wouldn't leave this in overnight. There's no need for that. Maybe an hour, 2 hours, if that. But these have been in for about half an hour, so that's good enough for me. I'll give them a bit of a scrub with this, and that should remove most of the releasing agent. Now, while we are waiting for the releasing agent to come off the epoxy resin parts, you might not have that stage in your production. So while we're waiting for that, even if we're not waiting for that, we'll move on to the actual kind of main assembly. So got the box itself. I did open it before in another video, so I'm going to take you through all of my stages of kind of how to build one and paint one from start to finish. I think one of these models is still £85. It's a huge amount of money for essentially 3 sprues, but it's the model is kind of awesome. When you get one of those big decal sheets, and you get this largish instruction booklet. Right, so this is the kind of instruction booklet that you get. Kind of tells you to complete all the legs and things first. So what I like to do is get them ready, get the legs and things ready. So I'll have them close by, the instructions, but I have built 2 already, so I should be okay. Now it is important to note that I won't be using these pads, but I'll be using the Forge World ones. You'll be ever so careful when you're taking them off though. In various parts of this video I will be speeding up things an awful lot and just moving to different points, just because I don't want any of these videos to go over 15 minutes. So that's these taken care of. So, like always, be extremely careful. Hopefully you can see that. You've still got some little bits of plastic on the edges where you've cut them out of the sprue. I use a Games Workshop's blade. You can use a whatever. It's got a Swan Morton, made in England, blade anyway. So just be extremely careful. Always cut away from you. I know I'm cutting towards me, but I feel like I've got more control if I do it this way, and the chances of getting cut are pretty minimal anyway. If you want to be real safe about it, yeah, you can cut towards the cutting mat, but you might not get as much control, if you see what I'm talking about. After I've cut the little bits of plastic off, I have a couple of files ready, and they just take the edge off of where the sharp blade has gone, because sometimes it squares what you're cutting, so this just smooths it off a little bit. And also when you come to glue two parts together, concentrate on other parts afterwards, and once you're completely satisfied that it's dry, use a file again just to smooth over that kind of man-made mould line that you've just created by gluing two parts together. It's pretty difficult to get them to go completely flush. Even if you do, there's still a bit of a kind of a nick, so it's best to just file that down slightly. What I'm going to do now is just finish these leg parts, and you're going to see them see the legs on the actual base. As you can see, the legs are almost finished. Glued both the parts together, glued them onto this piece, glued them onto the feet, glued the other two little extra parts, and then I'm going to be gluing these quite interesting little things here, which hold the shin armour, as I've kind of nicknamed it. What I'm going to do is now glue the rest of these kind of parts on, and I'm not going to glue the actual leg pieces on until we've painted. The reason being is because once you've got it all kind of glued, it's very difficult to hold the model and then paint individual bits of armour. What I prefer is to keep all the armour parts separate and then paint them, at a little bit of a later state. So I keep all the armour pieces off. So the next stage you're going to see is the actual hips completely glued, and all the rest of it. So join me in a moment. And there we go. So we have the legs more or less completely assembled. As you can see, I haven't put any armour whatsoever on them. Not the shin guards or the... I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay, there you go. So haven't got the shin guards on, the knee armour, I suppose, the thigh armour, haven't got any of the armour pieces, haven't got the groin armour, nothing on. That's because when it comes to spraying the model and having the first base coat of bolt gun metal, or whatever they call it now, and then washing it and everything, it's just so much easier if you've just got one kind of model or one piece to work all those layers on before, and then you can just do the armour separately. That's what I found with this model. Also, you'll probably notice that I haven't put the little kind of dangly banner on either. That's a prime example of you keeping it off the model and painting it separately. So that is the legs finished. Notice I also haven't glued him onto the base. I'm still deciding where to put him on here. It's up to you whether you want him kind of like that on the base, or where it's really your decision. But I'm going to look at my other two Knight Titans and kind of see where the best place for him would be to go. The next step, what you're going to see me do, I'm going to start building the top of him. You'll see the top and more or less the sides finished, and then the last kind of couple of stages is just going to be of each of the arms, and then hopefully you'll see him kind of almost finished, ready to be sprayed and started painted on.